Hi everyone, Fatty from Pack a Punch Traders here. Just want to make a daily review video lesson. I already made one earlier going over my trade on, where was it? CLVS, the overnight trade from 250 to 290 in the morning here. Just saw the failure to really break down, and it was holding up and bouncing on kind of weak volume compared to what it was doing the day before. So I thought some shorts still had to get squeezed and that they needed more volume. As you can see, there was some squeezing going here, but that was where a lot of volume was. So continued here today with insane buying, which I kind of saw as short covering, and then you got the volume fade and choppiness right around the breakout level, going over a red candle. So a bunch of shorts got squeezed, and then probably got back in here as it was a great short pattern. I wasn't expecting. I want to say great short pattern, but I wasn't really expecting a move from this, as I talk constantly about these red candle breakouts that have a lot of volume on them. It's just so hard to break those. That's kind of the general trend that's going to be set now. That will probably be a high typically, and unless there's enough volume to really take off, or it's a gradual choppy breakout over some time. But for the way I trade, for the quick moves, like GBS today, for the move like this, you need some strong volume. And even this one was kind of choppy. I totally missed this split. I'm going to say kind of choppy, but it was one-sided, but it wasn't totally clean. It needed to go back and forth a little bit. But generally, though, this is what we're looking for. The one-sided move, not exhaustingly going back and forth. You're not sure if it's going your way or not. Um, in this case, you have a good idea with the volume that it's breaking nicely over the 110 high, which ended up being, I think, a breakout over this area here. And now it broke the 125 area here where it had a little fake out over this one day. Um, Once again, not good volume that day. So maybe this one I'm thinking it is on watch for tomorrow. I'll actually combine this video. I'll make it a watch list and daily review. This I am looking for a previous high at daybreak. This is so far still holding right around the breakout level around 125. It closed above it. We're just getting a little bit of fade after hours, but still holding up relatively well. Rotated the float nicely. Solid volume perk. So I think this could threaten another move higher to the 160s, maybe two. But yeah, that's why this one day didn't really take off. There wasn't really any volume, and maybe I'm wrong. The move that we got was today, and it's another kind of fake out. But this volume coming in, kind of encouraging for maybe some further action. If not tomorrow, maybe a multi-day breakout later this week. So we'll just see how it sets up. But on this day here, GBS tried pulling a nice breakout, and all I could do was go exact just over 10%, 15% spike or so. Not anything significant. Couldn't really pull off a solid move. And if you look at the volume, it wasn't there. So volume is really key to these stocks moving both ways. But you really need eyes on there in the ticker. You need some conflicting opinions and expectations between the bears and bulls, and that usually triggers a nice solid short squeeze. Um, so this is still going to be on watch for tomorrow, right out of the watch list, right there. But yeah, so this was a real nice play. It really faded and held up decently. It faded good amount, but if we look at the volume, it really wasn't there. Um, just not enough selling pressure going on. But at the moment, there wasn't much buying going on. A little bit more selling pressure than buying, but overall, this look got held up and failed to break down and curled back and made higher lows. We got a solid ABCD pretty much here, uptrend, and then snap of the high, and we get this solid move. But you can see that volume is very important to get these quick, solid moves. Lgvn, we'll Did that. That's for tomorrow. One of my favorite plays now, multi-day bounce. It might need to dip some more, but I will be watching it tomorrow for a multi-day bounce. If it fails to keep breaking lower and we get a momentum shift, it could offer a quick little move. I would have preferred this thing spike more. When I play the multi-day bounce, I really like it. The front side move to be at least 200%. Great success with plays that go 200% plus. 150%, why not? I'll try it out. But when it gets just about 100% or so, not my favorite, but not bad here, about 150, 160%. So I will give it a shot, but preferably I would like it to go up more on the front side. It just makes it easier to get the bounce. At least there's a lot of volume here, so that is encouraging for a potential move. So we'll just wait and see, but the pattern for this multi-day bounce, now that it's set a red day, that will be the pattern for this in coming days until we get the bounce play. CRXT, another bounce play. Not your typical front side here, but still not bad. Solid run over a couple weeks or so, a week or something like that. From the 70, 80 cent area, getting to the very low twos. Now we're coming back. We'll see if it needs to fade some more and hold one and be around 50% off the highs. But from now on here, I'm going to be trying to time out a multi-day bounce. This is my least favorite multi-day bounce just because it isn't your typical play. I usually like the 2-3 day movers. Then you get the 2 days of fade, maybe 3, maybe more. It's not exactly according to days. But the quicker, cleaner spike up, fade, quick bounce. But yeah, so that is still a potential play. And then IGMS. Also today, I was looking at this today for a bounce play. Didn't really shape up, but looking like it's trying to find a bottom here around 22. Barely broke broke a little lower, not a whole ton. Volume, I'm assuming, is fading. Yeah, just lower and lower. So not much selling going on anymore. So we'll see if we could start putting in a bottom and shorts start covering, and that leads to a solid bounce play. I'll be looking for it to test 27, 28, something like that. But yeah, this is definitely on watch as well. This thing as well, definitely preferred that it spike even more, but it is still kind of the pattern, so I'll give it a shot. Why not? Yeah, so that's the top watches for tomorrow. What else happened today? PLX, this thing ended up fading. Oh yeah, Tkat, I need to go over Tkat. I think I went over that earlier. It was a top watch. That ended up failing. But here we go, PLX. Totally missed this play from the morning. I was really looking at it for an open price play, VWAP hold for a test of the 180 area where there was some resistance back here. And after that, if it was failing around this area, I thought we could get to the low twos just for a quick snipe where there's going to be some resistance here. Exhausting play. I went over this in the earlier video lesson. Scalped this a couple times for 70 bucks. Nothing great. Would have been real nice. Was a penny away from my sell. Except I got stuffed at 2. Nothing great. So yeah, and you can see it here with the volume. It just couldn't sustain. Like the morning, you could compare the volume here between the two moves. In the morning, we had a lot more volume coming in. It was much more consistently coming in, more buying. Here, yeah, you get some strong buying, but you compare it to what it was doing in the morning, it's going to need more than that, especially with the volume here that it's got going on. There's definitely some sellers in this, and the shorts definitely just took over. They couldn't really squeeze them out and scare them out. And you can see that with the volume here. Not enough squeeze and buying going on. Just get stuffed at 2. You combine the price action with the volume, and you get this choppiness action here. The volume completely drops off, and should have been a trigger for me to not be getting in and taking this quick little snipe from 188 to 190. Just a pathetic move, not the way I trade at all. And that was just the beginning of the end for this. You got the solid fade off of the highs, and you get the sideways action on near no volume, which could go both ways. If you get the spike in volume and starts uptrending, it could be seen as a high or low. But we're looking at this here, obviously in hindsight. But you get the top set again here. You get a lower high, and the volume completely fades. There's just not enough pressure to really squeeze any shorts out, and it just fails. So that could have been really a nice short, actually. Here, going from late day, all in that, last hour to 2 hours. Some solid action for that for the shorts. Congrats to them. But also, congrats to any longs who took it in the morning. This was a great pattern, great call that I had. Just didn't play it. Was on the live stream on Tradecaster, going over it. Totally missed it. Was devastated. But what are you gonna do? And then lastly, there was Tkat. This ended up failing. Did not really expect that. The volume was pretty strong today too, so it was kind of shocking. But it is still kind of holding up here. We'll see if we could come back and break previous high and continue higher. Let's see here. Yeah, just really hard time in the 460s, 470s. So kind of a fake out here. Resistance above around 5, holding strong. So that was devastating. And then you could really read it again here. Here's another great example. You get the choppiness, you get the strong volume indicating, it's pretty one-sided here. And then the volume starts dropping off, showing some choppiness, as is reflected with the choppiness. So there's some indecision going on here. And that's usually good. That's not bad at all. But the volume here, it completely failed. And that was the key to this failing, essentially, I guess. Took it for a quick little snipe. Just a scratch, not even anything. I don't even count it as a trade. I got in, and then I had to take a phone call. So I got right out. Not ideal at all. So just a whack little move there. But it tops out, and then the volume completely dies. A lot of selling going on here. And that just spells the beginning of the end for this. You get a head and shoulders here, essentially. And the volume is really what spells it out. You don't have the energy to keep pushing. You got to think of it as a tug of war. Sellers, bears get pulled all the way up, and with some good energy, you have good volume here going on. So the bulls are strong, but then the bulls really weaken up, and the shorts and the bears stop getting pulled even more and more, and the energy behind the bulls starts fading, and then momentum starts waning, and then that's when the bears take over. So that's what usually helps me when I'm overthinking. I just like to simplify it, think of it as a game of tug of war, and yeah, just follow the trend, follow the volume, the price action. It should all follow through. So yeah, a little bit longer of a video lesson tonight, but yeah, that was the day. Still up about 270 bucks. Not much going on. CLVS, my gamble was my best trade somehow. Totally missed GBS late day, which was devastating, but it's okay. Gonna appreciate being green. Good lessons today on volume and being patient and not buying at any cost and letting plays develop. And yeah, we'll just wrap it up. I hope you guys like this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Other videos I feel are better quality. It is kind of late right now. My apologies. But check out our Twitter. I got the watch list up there already. If you want to go through the rest of it, and I'll update it in the morning as well. So Check that out. And then tradecaster.com if you want to check out our live stream. Check that out. We got Q&A on there, live trading, some good resources for anyone starting to trade or wants to take it to the next level. Whatever the case, take advantage of all this free material. So hope everyone has a great night, and let's get ready for tomorrow.